like a sex gun sitting in this chair.
All right.
That's one way to start a show.
That's yes. All right. Well, that's yeah.
So that's Will.
That's Will. I'm Quentin, and we have Leafy here with us too.
Hell yeah.
We decided that we wanted to start a podcast because there really aren't enough white straight male opinions out there.
Especially Southern.
Yeah, especially Southern. Like, our voices need to be heard.
Yep.
That's why we did this. But yeah. Feeling like sex gods out here.
Apparently.
Hell yeah.
Only one of us has had sex, though.
Very
Not me,
true.
by the way.
Yeah. We'll let you all figure out which one of us has had sex.
So, I was at local. I was over at our local Walgreens one day, and I saw like these zombie nitro flavored Takis in the store, and I thought like, hey, I haven't heard crap about this. Might as well like try it, you know?
Yeah, so that's gonna be our first kind of thing we do here is we're gonna try these out. Habanero and cucumber tortilla chips.
So
Takis.
first thing I want to say is like they did a good job trying to capture that zombie aesthetic on them. But at the same time, like when I see Takis zombie nitro flavor, I think it's gonna taste like rotting flesh.
They smell weird.
They do. They smell really weird.
It is
Almost
definitely
like
an interesting smell.
it definitely smells like I'm in the produce section.
Alright. This looks like the Grinch's dick.
Maybe that's why he's so cranky. It's so pathetic.
Jeez.
It also kind of looks like very like Christmassy at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah, that was
That's really.
that was pretty intense to start out with.
Oh yeah.
It's
I like
really
it.
good.
It's definitely got some heat to it. Holy moly!
I
Yeah,
really
that's
like
the
that
habanero.
cucumber flavor.
Then
Oh,
again, I'm not extremely what's the word? Attracted to spicy foods, I guess.
Yeah. Well, like Q, you're the like big like spicy guy of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what kind of like spice rating would you put this on compared to other like Takis?
Well, I mean, I don't know spice rating because I haven't tried too many Takis. I really like hot sauces and stuff like that. But as far as like snack food goes, oh man, this is nice. I wouldn't give it a high spice rating, honestly.
Really?
It's not that spicy, no. I wasn't expecting this, but the cucumber flavor really comes through.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, when I hear cucumber, I'm not like that sounds appealing, like but you know, it really tasted good.
Yeah, that's what it was. Right when I first bit down, I got that very first like oomph of cucumber. I was trying to place what it was. Then I was like, oh, cucumber.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so before we got here, we stopped at McDonald's,
Yeah.
and
Get a Travis Scott burger?
I did not, but I had my first quarter pounder. But when I ordered it, I asked, "Can I get a Royale with cheese?" And the lady said, "What?"
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing, Nikki.
So-
Leafy. I'll cut that out.
You can leave that in; it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But so in American culture, we have a movie called Pulp Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
And they explain the metric system in a very interesting way at the beginning of the movie. And so the character Jules, I think he went under the name Pitt when he goes in to see these guys they were trying to get their money back, get the money from. But in Europe, they don't have a quarter pounder because they go under the metric system.
Mm-hmm.
And so they call it a Royale with cheese.
Mm.
And so Jules opens up the conversation after he just learns about it from his new partner, Vincent, to these guys because he was having I think it was a Whataburger? Was that what it was in the movie?
If memory serves me right, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm really wanting to say it was it was like a Hawaiian burger or something like that. Yeah, it was something like that. It had like Hawaiian buns.
Okay. Whataburger is a Texas thing.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I've never seen the movie, so I have no idea.
I have no idea where it takes place. I just know it's like in the 80s. But yeah, it's just kind of one of those, like, I guess it's like considered a niche joke. And it was funny, but it was heartbreaking at the same time that there are people that still have not gotten to see Pulp Fiction.
Even then, I haven't even been able to see it all the way through.
Yeah, we got interrupted that one time.
yeah, I'm genuinely upset about that. To be honest.
Yeah. We'll all watch it together sometime, and we'll review it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on one
Pulp
second.
Fiction review coming up soon, y'all.
That'd be great.
Yep. Hold on one second. ASMR bite. That's the talkies for you.
Oh man.
This we're like if we get enough like should we like at 100K at 100K we should open up a
OnlyFans?
Yeah, an OnlyFans and just have like food eating ASMR.
Oh my gosh.
Not just the sound clips, no video or anything.
100K is a big goal.
It is a big goal, but you know, if there's a market out there for it, it might get us there.
Maybe.
So, we were talking about some of like our favorite video games that helped us like develop who we are today, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love how you're drinking the pineapple soda.
Mm-hmm.
Because earlier today at work, I was listening to that pineapple soda song that I showed you before.
Oh. I'm surprised. This is off topic. I'm surprised. Okay, Leafy loves Fago.
Yeah.
He loves Fago. And he did not know for the longest time that there was a #1 song called Blueberry Fago.
It's really weird because I love hip hop and I love rap. And yeah, I just didn't know about it. It's really weird, but I finally got around to listening to it and I love it. Mm-hmm. It's great and it represents I feel like it's a good representation on like what Fago can do for you as well. Just make you feel good and live in the moment, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Newsflash, for the past 20 years, Fago has actually been putting MDMA in their sodas.
That explains why I'm addicted. You know, like, every time I get, like, a Fago, I'm, like, a whole different person. Like, I'm just like, oh, yeah. It's almost like they do put something in it.
That's crazy, bro. Have you ever tried DMT?
Just watch like after like this video goes up like a month later, they find me dead in a ditch over in Detroit. It's like he knows too much.
Fucker stole my life. Can't have shit in Detroit.
Oh, man.
Uh,
Well, back to the topic that we were getting on. We were going to be discussing, Leafy had this idea that he wanted us to discuss, like, the video games that kind of we grew up with and shaped us and, you know, just kind of, like, made us into gamer boys that we are today.
One day we'll be e-boys. Just watch.
Choke me like you choke me when you choke me.
oh my goodness.
So, I think Q, it'd be great if you started.
Okay, so I like made a list of a top 5. Okay, so like what I was kind of thinking is that like we'd all like have like ours in mind and have some honorable mentions too. And we just like go down a list, but like in no particular order kind of deal. I have no idea how much is coming through on the mic, Will. So this is in no particular order. In fact, the one that I'm going to be listing off as my number 5 is probably my number 1. Because my number 5 is definitely the most obvious choice between Leafy and I, and that is Pokemon.
That is a big one in myself as well.
Yes. Just like so much of my childhood has revolved around Pokemon, watching, playing, creating like fake Pokemon, creating fake regions, creating fake types, just everything. Like it has really fulfilled a lot of like what's in my imagination, and just like it. I don't know like how to put it, but it's just like my entire life Pokemon has been there for me up until this point. Even though like it can be disappointing nowadays, it's like the newer games and whatnot, it still like has that special place in my heart that it always will. And I'm pretty sure you want to say stuff about it too, Leafy.
So, like, with Pokemon, I feel like a lot of people kind of, like, I think, like, UQ had, like, really shared, like, this same kind of, like, experience where it's, like, you had so many hardships, there was, like, problems with parents.
Yeah.
Upbringing, so many fights, but you always had, like, Pokemon there. You had, like, your little buddies there that were always kind of, like, you could just rely on and go through the game. Your first level 100, the first shiny you caught. You decided to try EV training for the first time, and all that, and started breeding your Pokemon and stuff. And it's just kind of like you create this bond with them. That some people, like, there's only a handful of people that you can actually create a bond like that in real life.
Yeah.
And with me, I cannot really see my life without Pokemon. I also grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh, but I don't have that kind of relationship with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes.
That actually has a lot more heartbreak than good times.
Oh.
I think my life would be better if I didn't play Yu-Gi-Oh. I would have a lot more money.
Oh goodness, too true.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, Will.
I will say probably the game that made me who I am the most, or had the greatest impact on me. unfortunately came at a very late point in my life. This was back in 2017.
Oh wow.
This
That is
was a year after Doom 2016 came out.
Oh nice.
I started playing that, and that was actually around the time that I had started reading about Satanism from our good buddy Jacob. And it's just some of the things helped me. I guess care less.
Okay.
And this is coming from someone who overthinks a lot. I mean, ask Q, ask Leafy here.
Yeah.
They can both tell you. But I think that Doom had really rubbed off on me quite a bit.
That is one of those kind of games that's kind of like, you know, on paper it kind of sounds simplistic, but when you actually play it and actually feel it and just go through with it, it is one of those like top tier kind of rager games that's good to get out frustration. And it's funny how you mentioned that like caring less. It's funny because it's like over the years, like I've gone through a similar thing with doing that by learning more about like Juggalo culture and kind of like becoming a Juggalo myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like it's very liberating to feel that.
Yeah, there is a game that I'm going to mention later. It's actually going to be the last game that I mention. I'm not going to say it right now, just like because I have so much I want to say about it. But like for me personally, as a Christian, like I feel like video games really like can be great outlets, and like there's one game in particular that like really just taught me to like accept other people, accept other lifestyles, and that's like why you know, like Nikki and I sorry.
It's fine.
Leafy and I were kind of chuckling like when Will brought up Satanism, and like that's just because we didn't expect it.
Yeah.
Quick disclaimer, I'm not a Satanist.
Okay.
I just read about it.
I knew that like because you told me before. It was just really funny because it's like, wow, this is an interesting first impression he's putting down. He plays Doom and he thinks he's a sex god. Killer first episode, Will.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks you get that good old.
Yeah. Yeah. But you see, like, where I was going with that is that, like, I really learned to love and accept people of all lifestyles. Like, and that, you know, like, they're all, like, fine people. Will is a great person. And it's, you know, like, just because something sounds like something doesn't mean it's, like, as bad as what you think it is, or something like that. Or I don't know, just because something's different doesn't make it bad.
Yes. Fucking preach.
So going off of like a similar game style of like that really action packed kind of like demon gutting kind of topic. On the bottom of this list that I made, I didn't put in order, any specific order, but a big part of my childhood was Devil May Cry. Ooh. And I've been just so hyped up to play Devil May Cry 5. I haven't gotten to play it yet. It's over at Q's cousin's house because he said that he would love to like watch the story with me like while I play it.
Yeah.
But he's so busy, it's really hard to get around to it. It's been over there for like a month and a half now.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, Devil May Cry was always kind of like that it's kind of like a good memory I had with my father. Because he's the one that introduced it to me. There was one year, it was Christmas, and we go in and there's a PlayStation 2 in there with a huge stack of games.
Mm-hmm.
And Devil May Cry was a part of it. It was like a Capcom collection or something that he picked up. And I think I was like 12. And just like the immense kind of like just the hardcore kind of action pack that had like all the freedoms you had for combat for the first Devil May Cry game was just insane. And that's where I got my puppet obsession from, because the first enemy you fight in there is like this really creepy puppet kind of thing. And it was kind of one of like, it has a really interesting backstory too. I suggest looking into that. I'm not going to go into it because that can just take forever. I can talk on and on and on about Devil May Cry. So, TQ, why don't you take over for the next one?
Yes. Coming up on the next kind of like game series that kind of like just I really loved growing up, and I played a ton of it, even though like I don't have too much to say to it as to like where it put me in life. It's just I remember this making me fall in love with video games as a whole, and that is the Sly Cooper series. Yeah, just like everything about like being a cool raccoon with a ragtag group just stealing a bunch of things, and like it's just so much fun. And I always like used to grow up pretending that I was Murray because I'm big and strong. And my cousin Nolan would always like say that he was Sly, even though I would say that he was Bentley.
Gosh, cute. That's a little.
He looked like Bentley.
Oh my goodness.
To be fair, he was small enough that he needed a cart to get around.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Like that was just a lot of fun, and like I'd always like really like to imagine and pretend, and it really got me into like video games, like console games. So, Will, why don't you take the next one?
I'd say the one that really started my interest in video games was probably Donkey Kong 64.
Really?
I played so much of that on my sister's Nintendo 64 as a child. I never finished it though. Because for one, some of the enemies really scared me. I was a dumb wee bab, as they say. But it was so good. I loved that game so much, so dearly. Just everything about it. Rare. And all everything about that it's very, very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, like Donkey Kong didn't make my list. It was but like I had a lot of like fun playing that when I was growing up with my brother. It was just like we had the N64 when I was like 3. so like we just play that, and honestly that was probably like one of the first games that I played. I didn't even think about that.
Oh yeah. I think it was either that or the other Nintendo 64 game that was on my list, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
Oh yeah.
That's a pretty early memory for me as well.
I can't remember which precisely, but I remember my sister only had 3 Nintendo 64 games growing up. That was Donkey Kong 64, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, and Pokemon Snap.
Oh, yes.
Now, I like Leafy and Q here. I do have an appreciation for Pokemon, but not anywhere close to the level of these guys.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that I don't like it. I do.
I think essentially it's like you like the Pokemon games you've played is like the kind of kind of more of like the franchise, like the off mainline games, like Pokemon Snap.
I've never actually played an actual Pokemon game.
So
we gotta change that.
Like, actually, one I want him to play is probably like Pokemon Coliseum, and that's not a mainline game. But it has kind of feels of it. It's like a really dark undertone kind of game.
Now that wasn't the one where it was like in a desert and you stole.
Yeah, it was.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
I watched Nolan play that one day.
Yeah, it's really good. And Pokemon XD Gala Darkness, in my opinion, was actually a decent sequel to that. And it just really sucks that was kind of an abandoned kind of like idea. Because it was it was weird because it kind of seemed like it was treated as a kind of like a fan game instead of like a main like an actual like game that Nintendo like respected. I think it was made by Havoc if I remember correctly.
I don't know.
It was I just have like a vague like memory on the like back of the box of the disc. So I guess like my third game that I'm gonna say is probably gonna be Soul Calibur.
Oh, nice.
I get like an honorable mention would be Tekken, but Soul Calibur had like a bigger impact on my life. I had growing up I had Tekken Tag Tournament 2. I mean Tekken Tag Tournament, and then Soul Calibur 2 for the PlayStation 2, which kind of sucks because they couldn't get Cloud or Dante in the PlayStation version like they were planning on getting, so they had to get Heihachi from basically just the future. Which I don't know how that works through the lore. But I grew up playing with Keelik. In middle school, I started playing Voldo in Soul Calibur 4. The one you can play as Yoda. Everybody hated Yoda.
Oh, yeah.
Because no one could hit Yoda.
Yeah.
I don't know how good Darth Vader was. Starkiller was really good in that, even though he was just called the Apprentice.
From a very, very good game, I think. Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Big Star Wars fan here,
Joke's on you. Joke's on you. That's a Soul Calibur that got his own game franchise because he appeared in Soul Calibur 4 before he had his own game out.
Really?
Yes.
Is that really the case?
Yes, it is. He was an unlockable character, and that's why he didn't even have a name yet. He was just called the Apprentice.
Yeah.
That was their advertisement kind of thing, was working with the guys from Soul Calibur.
Huh.
And got Yoda, Darth Vader, and Starkiller in there.
That's wild. I never realized.
Oh my gosh. Soul Calibur 5 was a train wreck.
That's the one that had Ezio.
Ezio was good in there, but they took away like all like the really like big classic characters and replaced them with the new characters were either really broken or very bad.
Something that I just wanted to say real quick.
Yeah.
About the Soul Calibur thing. My first experience with that was the was the one with the Darth Vader and Yoda.
Okay, so 4.
Uh-huh. And the thing is that our school used to have a video game day with another school.
Yeah.
That was our high school, and they only had it for a couple years when I got there. Like they just stopped doing it. I don't know why.
They were starting like construction over at the building they had it.
Ah.
It was over at the technical school that they had like pretty much attached to the other school.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I only had one more year than you did with it. Which really sucks.
Yeah. But so what happened is like there was a guy that brought it, and then they had a tournament. And I think I went for Vader. This one guy went with Yoda, and that guy mollywopped the entire tournament.
Oh yeah. For some reason, I really feel like that was Sean Cook.
I don't know.
Like, did he have long blonde hair?
No.
Oh, okay. So, I was one of the only people that, in my friend group that played that didn't have a problem with Yoda. But that was because not only did I know how to play Yoda, but I played, Voldo, which he has a lot of low hitting moves anyways. And he does a lot of it in combos. So, Yoda really, like, struggled against my Voldo. And, I think that was when I picked up, like, I started playing Voldo was because of Yoda.
Oh, yeah?
I wasn't, like, really competitive. Like, I didn't know, like, combos and stuff. I was, like, one of those button masher kids. And then, like, Soul Calibur 5 came out. I got better with it. And, they're the only two characters that returned that I knew how to play was Cervantes and Voldo. And so I went into a tournament at the first Aoumacon in I think Louisville. And I got to the finals, destroying everyone under the name King of Freaks, playing Voldo.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't until I got to an Astroth player at the end. And he just kept running me over. He was spamming his charge attack. And so, like, every time you would lose, it was a best of three. It was like a best of three, I think.
Yeah, I love Astaroth.
And I had to switch into Cervantes to try to combat it, but I still couldn't do it. But then the people who I came with said, "Hey, we gotta go," and so it was just like, I guess I'm gonna have to forfeit. I'm losing anyways, so it's like it's not like I'm losing anything. So I just said, "Hey, man, I have to forfeit. My ride's here. Good game. You're going to beat me anyways. I'm not, like, dipping because, like, you couldn't get the win. I'm dipping because I have to go." But, yeah, that was really fun. That was my first experience at a con. But, Soul Calibur 6 really is good. Like, it even got Will into it. The character creation's amazing.
Yeah, any game with a character creator in it, I go nuts.
Yeah.
Leafy here showed it to me one night. He was over at my apartment, and I was hooked.
Oh yeah, it's really fun, and especially like, so at first when I heard there was a DLC coming to the game, it was kind of like one of those like bittersweet kind of things, because it was like, oh, we get new characters, and then it's like, but some of these characters should have been in the game in the first place. But I realized, like, when they they have to get the game out at a certain date, otherwise they're not going to make any money or be able to finish it. So when they're putting out these characters that should have been in the, like, quote unquote should have been in there in the first place, they come out so well polished. Amy has great, like, counterplay, like counter ability. Like, you knock her back, she immediately jumps back and able to go into combos. That is cool. And she can also, like, if you get good enough with her, you could actually zone with her. Hilda, oh my gosh, Hilda's new outfits are amazing. Was it Cassandra that was added? That I keep like going like super aggro on you.
Yes, yes. Oh my god, he mopped the floor with me.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was crazy because it's like you get like that lightning boost thing. Like I'm a big fan of the game. I just don't know the terminology for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of like, for some reason it's hard to find like tournaments online to watch of that. It's like you get locals and that's it. It's like it's not like Tekken where you go to like a big E3 tournament and it's just like, oh my gosh, there's this like celebrity player here, there's that celebrity player there. It's like I just think it's really wild, like because like I'm used to seeing it for like Smash Bros.
Mm-hmm.
But like going to like another like game from my childhood and seeing like Tekken have like that, like Lil Majin is huge and he's like a king player. That's really wild to me.
Mm-hmm.
But with Soul Calibur you just don't get that, and I think it has a lot to do with it's like not really like a super intense combo game. That people, it's more of like you have to balance your zoning and combos.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can just die really quick, but either way, Yoshimitsu's in the game, so he's broken. Like that's hands down, like in both communities, Yoshimitsu's in the game. Of course he's the best character. But yeah, that's real wild.
Mm-hmm.
Which I want to just throw out to Sakurai, like, hey, if you want to like get a really good Bandai Namco character, Yoshimitsu represents 2 franchises.
That's true.
Yeah, and everyone either loves him or hates him.
Hey.
I believe I was actually talking to Nolan the other day about well, not necessarily hypothetical, but characters we'd like to see in Smash games. One of my pitches was either Nightmare or Yoshimitsu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Would be good for Smash, I think.
Yeah.
But before I'd like to see them, I'd still like to see Doom Guy in Smash.
Oh, yeah. Sort of like how I'd like to see Dante first.
Are we on 3 yet?
Yeah, that was my 3. Soul Calibur was my 3.
Will, I know that you mentioned the Star Wars game. Do you want to go ahead and like say your piece about it? And
well, I think it's more along the same lines as Donkey Kong 64, where it was just one of the first games I ever played, and it really stoked my love for games.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That's really all, to be honest. I guess though, to throw in another Sucker Punch game, Infamous, the series. Well, not necessarily the series. Rather, 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I kind of enjoyed 2 better.
Yeah.
Second Son was all right, but 2 was, whew, holy moly.
Yeah, I put Infamous in my honorable mentions list. Well, I mean, the fact that it's in my honorable mentions list, I love Infamous.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just something that, like, gives you the what is it? What am I thinking? Freedom.
Yeah, freedom.
Freedom to, like, be, like, as chaotic, as evil, as good, as neutral as you want to be. Like, that, was just so much fun. Just,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Being able to choose your own path in any game is
Mm-hmm.
an instant win. Not to mention, the first game turned me on to one of my favorite bands.
Really?
Working for a nuclear-free city.
Oh, you were
yeah.
obsessed with them
Oh
in
my
high
God,
school. You would
was
not shut up about that. And it was just like, but my basic ass was over there like 3 Days Grace, best band ever. I think that's like how Nolan and I like really like bonded, was like that was both our favorite bands at the time, and so we were just like, after we learned that, we were kind of like that was when I started like going over to his house, hanging out and stuff.
Yeah.
And like shortly after, I started hanging out with UQ.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually Will appeared out of nowhere in my photography class.
Well, I wouldn't say out of nowhere. Rather, back from the dead.
Yeah, you were at that dead end of a high school beforehand.
Oh,
I
God.
started talking to Will because Nolan was bullying him.
I started talking to Nolan because he was bullying me.
That's how it goes.
And then
He
the
bullies you,
next
then
year
you
I
become
helped
his
him
friend.
bully Will.
Oh goodness.
I think like most of my bonds actually came from like help like I met like a teacher that really changed my life there at high school, Miss Shefford, because she transformed my like very like my weak idea of like having like a video game club, a video game and anime club, into like a Japanese culture club, and I met some of the best people in my life in there, and it's really funny because like I feel like that was like the reason why our friend Jillian, came back into our lives, is because like we got to bond with her there. And it was really funny to me because before we started hanging out with her, she would see me at like a local, like at the fair or like at the concert series downtown. And she would see me and Nolan, and she'd be like, "Nikki," which that's my real life. That's my in-person nickname, by the way. That's not even my real name. No one knows my real name, by the way.
Man of mystery.
Yeah, man of misery.
Man of misery.
That's what you said. You didn't pronounce the T in
Well,
that.
I did. You just can't hear.
Well, we'll let the audience decide that.
Yes. Yes.
Did you say man of misery or mystery? That'll be
Place
my
your
new
votes
title.
now.
That'll be my new title, guys.
Place your votes now and we'll see who gets eliminated. Gosh dang.
We've been watching a lot of Lover Host as well, so that's kind of where that came from.
I was thinking American Idol.
Really?
Yes.
I actually never watched American Idol.
Oh, wow.
I probably like it now. Back in the day, I was just like that edgy kid that was like, ugh, singing.
Oh,
That's for dweebs.
I grew up on it.
I mean, I'm still that edgy kid, but I go reality shows. I can't stand them.
I love bitchy drama. I can't lie.
I've gotten to where like every time when I see like a new episode, like a new like Lover Host pops up on YouTube, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's my soaps.
Yes.
Come on, girls, we're gonna watch the new Lover Host.
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
So let's see.
Well, next on my list
Yeah.
is the first game that I got for PlayStation 3, and I didn't play it for a while because I was so stubborn. I was like, this game came with the PlayStation, it's probably not that good. I don't know what my rationale was, I was a kid, but like, I was basically like thinking like, oh yeah, this game is probably not that good, they're just giving it away with the console. So like, I asked my mom if I could have Guitar Hero, and I played Guitar Hero for months with this gym just sitting in my room. I never touched it until one day I got bored with Guitar Hero. Uncharted. That was... Yes, that was like an awakening to this is what video games can be. And I did not know a world that this existed within the realm of video games before. And it had a it had shooting, it had free running, it had a funny protagonist, and I just didn't know that I could have all those things in a game. It was just so much fun just to get immersed in the world of Nathan Drake and find the treasure and find these zombies and
I will agree. Uncharted, the whole series was great.
Absolutely.
My one gripe, my single gripe though, going into the first one completely blind. I was honestly expecting a bit more puzzle solving.
True. Yeah.
And that was one thing I was a little bit sore about. But this is coming from someone who really enjoys Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Love Indiana Jones. Holy moly. Yeah, I just wish they would have put in a bit more puzzle solving and I guess a sense of not to say it doesn't already have it, but I guess a bit stronger sense of discovery, I guess.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's, retrospect, on my end, at least. I wasn't thinking this when I played the game. I was just actually, kicking myself that I didn't actually play this before. In fact, I told my brother, who's 6 years older than me, he didn't play it either. He played Guitar Hero with me. I was like, you gotta play this game. And he didn't, he didn't believe me. And then he played the game, and he was like, oh my gosh, this is the best game that I've ever played.
I think, the biggest, I think, the reason, for that is that, beforehand, if you look at, the game art that, for, all the previous games, you see, a lot more color, a lot more kind of, less stuff catered to a style of Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And I think the artwork kind of gave that Tomb Raider kind of vibe to a lot of people, which a lot of people back our age back then didn't really get into Tomb Raider, if I remember correctly. That was kind of more of oh, that's what my dad played.
Well, I played Tomb Raider as a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't remember too much from it. I played it really young. But, you see, that would have actually appealed me more to the game. Really? I knew absolutely nothing about Uncharted.
That's true. But, the box art does look good for the first one. But, yeah, like you said, it came with the game. I mean, it came with the console. And, compared to the other games, you look at Borderlands at that time, that looks real outrageous. It's I want to know what that game's about. Or Pokemon. If you never played Pokemon before, you're I kind of want to know what that game's about.
Yeah.
But then you get into this game that kind of looks it was definitely a sleeper. I feel a lot of people slept on the first game. I didn't play it, but it was kind of more because I'm that's just not my genre right there.
Yeah, well, another thing with me too is that something that I recognized as soon as I booted up Uncharted, I was Naughty Dog. That's Crash Bandicoot. That's all Naughty Dog was to me. So I definitely was not expecting this from the Crash Bandicoot people.
That's funny because when I think of Naughty Dog, I think it was Naughty Dog that did this. Let me check real quick before I embarrass myself.
But also that's kind of where I put Uncharted on my list and not The Last of Us, because The Last of Us I was actually pretty grown by then, so it's like The Last of Us, like it's much better. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
But Uncharted kind of started that formula, and so that's why I rank Uncharted so much on like my video game awakening.
Yeah. Okay, I was right. It is the Jack and Daxter series. I think like when I
Oh,
hear
yeah.
Naughty Dog, I think Jack and Daxter.
Oh yeah.
That one there is kind of like I'll use that as one of my multiple. I have a couple of honorable mentions, which that'll be one of them.
Yeah.
But because like right now we're sitting at a Nintendo PlayStation bias, I'm gonna put
It's
in
very true.
I'm gonna put in 2 Microsoft games, which
Okay.
one of them is a Rare game, and it's a real wild. It has a real wild name that a lot of people haven't seen, or haven't really heard of. But it was for the 64, and it's called Jet Force Gemini.
Oh.
And that one was like a crazy space age game where there was like an evil empire of like ant people attacking, like trying to take over these planets. And it's your job to go save the planets. And I think one of my favorite aspects of that game was like instead, like you could actually kill the civilians.
Yeah.
And the other Microsoft game I want to bring up as an honorable mention, and it's because it's an honorable mention just like the Jack and Daxter series, is because it's not because I played them, but because my brother played them, and I have good memories of hanging out with my brother watching him play this. But the Gears of War series up to 3. Specifically up to 3.
Oh.
Because you can't like. There's a character in there that's just like so heartbreaking about 3.
Yeah.
If you never played it, I recommend playing it from 1 to 3. I don't know how good 4 or 5 is. But I highly recommend that. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my actual like 4th game.
Oh well, I was.
Oh, did you not like? Oh, you yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say something real quick about like the PlayStation and Nintendo bias. Like, am I biased? Maybe a little bit. But it's more that I just never like had an experience with Xbox growing up, except for like I had a really good friend that I played his Xbox, but he had Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, the same things that you could get on the PlayStation. So it was just more of a thing like I just never grew up with it. And am I ever going to own an Xbox? Like, well, actually I do, but like, am I ever going to like own a Xbox as my primary console? Probably not, because like just PlayStation and Nintendo were such a big part. And when I think about like what games I want to play, if there are ever remakes done or anything like that, it's usually always going to come to Xbox, or not Xbox, PlayStation and Nintendo for what I want to play, because that's what I grew up with. It's not anything against Xbox.
Yeah. So my last 2 games on my list are actually quite more obscure. I'm going to use the one that's not as obscure. There's probably a lot of people out there that knows about this game, and it's usually like the real hardcore Nintendo fans that really like to relax when they play games instead of like the real intense hack and slash shooters kind of things. And that is Harvest Moon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Harvest Moon. I grew up down the street of a family of Jehovah's Witnesses. So I played a lot of like more kind of like Nintendo variants with them, like Smash Bros. Melee, which I stopped playing that after a while because as they got older, they felt like it was too violent. It's we played Pokemon together, and Harvest Moon was a game that we shared in common. But I started playing because of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely love I was afraid for a long time to like admit that I liked Harvest Moon
Mm-hmm.
because in my head I'm a boy. I was a boy.
Mm-hmm.
This was back when it was harder for boys to like actually admit like, oh, I like the color pink. Oh, I think Hello Kitty is cute.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of thing, because it's like you have to have some sort of masculinity at that, like, is what, like, kind of just what you're taught to grow up with.
Mm-hmm.
My mother did her best to break that down. My father didn't try breaking it down, but he didn't try to reinforce it.
Mm-hmm.
He really didn't care. He was like, he loved Hot Wheels. He gave me Hot Wheels because he loved Hot Wheels.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me the hack and slash stuff because he liked the hack and slash stuff.
Yeah.
And I also adopted kind of like his music taste when I was in high school because he put music down on my MP3 for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so in my head, it's like, if it's not loud and obnoxious, it's not music for a boy. If it's not full of blood and guts, it's not for a boy.
Mm-hmm.
If it has like pink, if it was colorful, if it was more than black and red, I couldn't like it.
Yeah.
That was kind of just the mindset I had. But
Mm-hmm.
like as I got older, made more friends, and started to learn more about myself, I started to realize, like, you know, just because you're a boy and just because you're straight does not mean that you are not allowed to like the heart-shaped things or Hello Kitty. And I'm really hammering in that Hello Kitty because I grew up with Hello Kitty and shit, I love Hello Kitty.
Okay.
But Harvest Moon was definitely one of those games, and it really got me into ship culture.
Oh god. Oh god.
By the way,
there goes
listeners.
there goes the podcast.
By the way, listeners, yes, I am shipping you with someone.
Oh gosh.
Hello, listeners.
All right. Jumping off of that, Will.
Hello, listeners.
You got another game?
Yeah. This was, I think, the first really M-rated game that I was ever allowed to play because my parents were very diligent about that, which is good. But no, this was Prototype.
Mm-hmm.
Back on the PlayStation 3. It was just this crazy, chaotic shapeshifter game where you played as a guy that could turn his arms into different kinds of like weapons, like a giant sword or claws or hammers that smash the ground. You could go and...
Was that Prototype?
Yes. I said the name of the game.
I didn't hear it. I was just like you said, it was the first, like, I just heard you go into, like, it was the first M-rated game because my parents were diligent. It was like this shapeshifter kind of.
No,
like I didn't hear the name at all.
He said Prototype.
I said the name of the game.
I just missed it. It was just like, this is Prototype.
No, anyway, it was just a really fun to go run around New York City at superhuman speeds, jump off of buildings, stab people to death, fight monsters. It was great.
Are you sure you're not talking about DC Universe Online?
I'm pretty sure.
That was a joke.
Well, I mean, DC Comics did do some Prototype Comics.
Oh,
Which I
really?
never read.
I didn't know that.
Unfortunately, which is kind of upsetting. I need to see if I can find those somewhere down the line. I'd like to read them. But not. Then Prototype 2 came out. It was all right, but it was not a good continuation for the story.
I think what I'm learning is that, Will, you're very happy if you're given a game where you can just openly go about your day causing chaos through a city with a non-conventional weapon.
You know what's really funny is like he's this really quiet guy at work. So
I had a lot of anger growing up.
Oh my God.
I had a lot of
that is very
hidden
true.
anger. I had a lot
Nolan
of
and I didn't help much.
repressed anger growing up.
Oh my gosh.
You know, Nolan's gonna break into your apartment one day and look for your calculator so he can take it apart again.
Yeah,
And then he's
that's gonna be the day I finally snap and murder somebody.
No, he's gonna make like a he's gonna give you your own JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and just like make you like. He creates like a treasure map all over the country to find different parts of your.
Oh my God.
to
Nolan!
Ha! You thought it was. You thought it was Nolan that took apart your calculator and sprayed it all over the country, but it was I, Dio.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Ah.
Oh man, but nah, it was a good Venn game.
Yeah.
I'd say it's same as Doom. Same as Doom.
Oh yeah, Doom. Like what we said earlier. Devil May Cry was good for that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's about like from what I've seen, Devil May Cry 5. It's even better than. It's like Devil May Cry is the best it's ever been when it came to gameplay because you can actually like do enormous combos that last for like hours now if you have the like actual like muscle strength to actually keep that up without your hands cramping.
Yeah. I just realized that everything on my list is a series, so I might go back and think what was my favorite game out of each series.
Well, I mean, I've been doing series as well.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I just thought about that.
Oh my gosh.
That does bring me to my number 2, which is the SmackDown video game series. I am a huge wrestling fan, and like, it started with me watching stuff with my brother-in-law, where like he'd had a couple Royal Rumbles, and both of them had Hulk Hogan in it, featured very prominently. I loved Hulk Hogan. And then, like, I would tell my dad about this, and he bought me the first SmackDown game. And, like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like, all the, like, I actually controlled the people, like, and I made matches and stuff. And then, like, there was SmackDown 2, and, you know, like, you could go in a kitchen, like, get a mop to beat people with, and it was, like, so funny. Then in, like, I didn't get Just Bring It, but I got, SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth, and you could go outside and start throwing snowballs at each other, and it was just, like, every, like, favorite wrestler I had, I could do something with. And then SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, they went all out with the craziness, and you could like jump up buildings and like get on a helicopter and like fly off it at people, and like it was you could play frisbee with like a manhole cover. It's just like that was the peak of creativity and wrestling combined for me growing up, and it was just so much fun just playing these where there were seemingly no limits.
That is always a fun thing. I think it's also like the newer games are really good for like when you have friends over.
Yeah.
With the character creation, you just throw them up
yeah.
against each other. What was that one character I made that was like the jester that had like the bullet wounds?
Yeah.
Wasn't Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Adam.
Like his name was just Adam.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he was like really, really small, but he was over there doing like moves that he really shouldn't be able to do.
Yeah, that's another
didn't that
thing.
match come down to like your character and my character?
Yeah, Cactoid and Adam.
the giant green cactus mohawk man.
And somehow Adam just goes in there and just fucks shit up.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, is that like every single like game from like SmackDown Shut Your Mouth to now is like the character customization is extremely good. You can do basically anything you want.
It's like better than Soul Calibur, and Soul Calibur is really good. You can make almost any video game character in Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
Just about, yeah.
Yep.
You can make Mr. Krabs in Soul Calibur.
Yes.
I've seen it. It's horrifying, but I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, I almost made fucking Plankton.
Oh.
And it looked awful.
I'm trying to think here. Like, I think that was one of my favorite things was like getting to like make like if a character's not in there, you can make them.
Yeah.
And it's just like it just kind of like it's not like them having their own moveset. It's like, but it's not like me costumes where it just feels disingenuous.
Yeah.
Like I will say, like me costumes in Smash are cool. Like the premium ones.
Yeah.
For example, like I really like. I'm happy they put Volt Boy in there. And that was like, that made me pick up Me Gunner because it was like, this is exactly how Volt Boy would play.
Mm-hmm.
This is how Cuphead would play.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you throw in characters like Hihachi. Well, actually, Hihachi, yeah, pretty much would play that way. But you bring in characters like Travis Touchdown, which that one hurt a lot of people's hearts.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how Travis would play.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see.
Well, I mean, Hihachi, while he would play like that, it just doesn't look like him like enough. It just
like they use the Wii U Tekken Tag 2 version.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that version was ugly.
Mm-hmm. But also, I would have rather had a Hihachi that with proportions like a Ryu or a Ken.
Oh yeah,
like,
actually like match them and
yeah.
Like I want to point out something about the Tekken series that I really like is the animations when they hit people. Like each character has their own kind of like animation for it, and it's like like which like group they're from because of it. And Hihachi is like a thunder god when he punches, and there's just electricity that comes out, and there's no real reason for it. It just looks badass.
Yeah.
But oh shoot, actually, for like a little break off of the listing topic, there was actually some really cool news and DLC that came out today or yesterday. The new Bleach character that's going to be in Jump Force is actually Yororichi, the cat ninja girl.
Okay.
Which is a really cool pick because that's like a fan favorite, but it's not like one of the like. I like how like the DLC characters are picking as fan service and not just them picking like, oh hey, this is like the big new character we're trying to sell in the series. Like they got Grimjow, they got Toshiro Hitsugaya, and Yororichi from they're getting good representation from their series.
Yeah.
They're getting good representation from Hunter x Hunter. They put Biscuit in there before they put Miriam. And that was really cool to me.
Yeah.
Because, like, that meant, like, you know, we could get Crollo later from Hunter x Hunter. That's really cool.
That would be badass.
I love Crollo. Crollo's cool.
Are we all on number 1?
Yeah.
All right, Nikki.
So you guys want me to start with it? So I'm gonna throw an honorable mention before that. I have a lot.
Yeah,
of
let's throw in all our honorable mentions before we get to the number ones.
So I'm gonna say my first honorable mention for not my first one. I've thrown in a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but the first one off of this, I'm gonna say the Fallout New Vegas specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was my first Fallout game. That was my first post-apocalyptic, make-your-own-choice kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
And that was such a different experience. And that was a part of my Xbox experience. Which Soul Calibur 4 and Gears of War were all on that as well. That's where I experienced those games.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think.
Well, I mean, like, if you want to, like, give a quick rundown of, like, each honorable mention, like, you don't have to, like, you could just say the name and just be like, yeah, this was really cool growing up. And
Yeah.
then, like,
I'm just trying to think of what else. What else? Of course, Smash Bros. Smash Bros. Wasn't impactful to me until Smash Ultimate was announced.
Mm-hmm.
I was always frustrated with it because I didn't understand how the game worked because it was a different type of fighting game altogether because of platforms. And I started learning how to play it in Ultimate.
Yes.
And I'm actually decent now. But, yeah, I'm probably going to say my last honorable mention is probably going to be Yu-Gi-Oh! Any Yu-Gi-Oh! Computer emulator you can play with people.
Mm-hmm.
I still play them to this day. It allows me to enjoy playing my favorite archetypes without having to fork over a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can even play tournaments on there now and actually win money and stuff. So that's my honorable mentions.
So my honorable mentions are very PlayStation heavy. I have Spyro and Crash, both great games that like kind of like in the PS1 era, like that was like me playing video games back then. Infamous and Guitar Hero, both I played on the PS3. But like I already said my piece about Infamous. Guitar Hero, I kind of already said it. It was like my first game on PlayStation 3, and I had a lot of fun playing it. Don't get me wrong, it was like I wasn't trying to downplay it by saying that I liked Uncharted more. It's just I do. Twisted Metal, same thing with the Spyro and Crash, but also like with the little bit that I'm from the South and I used to watch a lot of Demolition Derbies.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And Mario Party is because I had a good friend group that I'd play a lot with.
You have a good friend group to make miserable.
Yeah, exactly.
The monopoly of video games.
Mm-hmm. And Will?
I guess I'll start out my honorable mentions by naming off a few. One that I played almost religiously back in high school was Star Wars Battlefront 2 on the PlayStation 2 Classic Battlefront, not this new bullshit.
Okay, boomer.
Only, I'm gonna fucking slap you. No, there was just at the time I was obsessed with Star Wars. And just a game where I could go like anywhere in the Star Wars galaxy and recreate famous battles. You know, it was great. It was great. I loved it. Same with Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. Sadly, I didn't have a PlayStation 3 at that time, so I played the shitty PlayStation 2 version. Unfortunately, so I feel like I'm kind of missing out on that, I guess. But I still enjoyed it regardless. That was, I think, was the my main path into story-driven games.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really, really glad that I played it, to be honest. Next up, Crisis 2, which is my favorite out of the series. It's just, I'm a sucker for science fiction. Just anything science fiction, I'll just about gobble up, you know.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Yeah, I'm a turkey, by the way.
He's a sexy turkey with a tentacle.
Oh my god. Anyway,
Oozing maple syrup.
I'm gonna send you to horny jail.
Oh my god. I think I'm missing things.
Yeah.
He said I gobble that up, and I said gobble, 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 and he said he's a turkey. And I said with a tentacle.
Oh.
And then he's like, anyways, and I said that oozes maple syrup.
Oh my god. No.
Let's not go there just yet. Thank you.
It'll be lore for later on.
Yeah, sure.
That
whatever.
will explain. There is a story behind that, by the way.
Okay.
Anyway, another one. I guess a lot of these that I'm naming off are games that I played recently. I guess. Or after high school recently.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I feel like I was able to appreciate them better than I would have been when I was a kid. Anyway, last one for my honorable mentions is Assassin's Creed Origins.
Absolutely phenomenal game.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I really enjoy reading about Egyptian mythology anyway. So the Egyptian setting really won it for me. It's just the mystery
Mm-hmm.
and myth. I really like how they executed it. It's actually the first Assassin's Creed game I ever played, which I guess is kind of embarrassing.
No. It's
just. I think anybody else would agree.
yeah. I think you started out with the best one, not including Valhalla because I haven't played it yet, so I cannot speak on how good Valhalla is, and I don't want you to tell me.
The
It's all
only
good.
Assassin's Creed game I ever played was DMC Reboot.
But I think moving on to my absolute number one,
Mm-hmm.
Far Cry Primal.
Oh yeah.
For one, it's such a wild concept. Nobody ever would have thought a caveman game would be good,
Mm-hmm.
but I absolutely adored it.
Mm-hmm.
For one, I guess it really executed the survival aspect of being alive back in 10,000 BC. It did that really well, I think. Plus having being thrust into an environment that literally doesn't give a shit about you,
Mm-hmm.
and could care less if you get eaten by a bear or something, or freeze to death or whatever, and you survive.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's a really good FPS.
Mm-hmm.
It has like that Fallout Obsidian kind of humor, doesn't it? Like that series.
Sort of.
Like it has that really in your face kind of humor.
Sort of. The humor is not really the selling aspect of the game, I think.
Like I figured that, but it was like I remember like advertisements of like flipping people off and shit.
They don't. I don't think they had that in Primal.
Okay, I never played Primal. I never played any of them. I just am going by what the commercials I saw as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first Far Cry game I ever played. It kind of turned me on to the rest of the Far Cry series.
Nice.
The same as Assassin's Creed Origins turned me on to Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just a solid all around FPS. With a really neat concept, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I've never seen it before. Never seen a caveman game before.
Yeah.
No, think about it. There's just not very many at all.
Well, you all haven't played Ice. I'm kidding.
No, but I played Shrek the Third.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Like like those animated movie games are really bad, but that one was a banger.
Yeah, I actually really loved playing. Like, okay, this isn't a part of my honorable mentions or anything by any means. Like, I actually really did like playing animated movie games. Like, there was the Shark Tale, Shrek, and what's that third one? Ice Age. I just said it.
Yeah.
I really like those games. Not like phenomenally or anything, and just I really did growing up.
The Over the Hedge one was real trash though.
A good thing I didn't play it.
Yeah, there was like some things in there that was just like that has nothing to do with the movie at all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot! Are we still like? Do you still have honorable mentions? I'm trying to remember who.
No, I have my final one.
Okay.
And like I said, this is in no particular order. Like, I don't think I could rank these except for Pokemon at number 1, and that's why I went ahead and got it out of the way, is because it was the most obvious one.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like, really shaping me in a way that I didn't understand growing up, I really have to like really talk about how much Tony Hawk has meant to me. I'm playing the remake right now of 1 and 2, and I just like how much nostalgia is in this. Like I just remember like playing this and like playing the new one. The controls are just like I remember, and it's like I'm a kid again, just really in awe and wonder about like how such a beautiful sport exists.
Mm-hmm.
And like as a kid, I had a skateboard. I wasn't good at skating. But like I really wanted one because of Tony Hawk, and just like as an adult, I really want one because of Tony Hawk. It really just like makes you like thinking back on it. It really like puts me in a place where I just feel like a kid, just having so much fun, just playing this game. And also like it really taught me about like different lifestyles and stuff that people had, and just like to really accept other people and love other people. And that's another thing that the remake brought out, is that there is a character in there, and it's a real person, but they're non-binary, and that would be like unthinkable in any other like kind of medium. But something like skateboarding, to where it is such a like it is such a culture of being different and really standing out, it's acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I love Rage Against the Machine, Johnny Cash, and Frank Sinatra, all because of Tony Hawk. That's such a diverse kind of group there, but it was really brought all together because of this one game, and I never knew how perfect this game was until like I just did a retrospective. And that's like all I'm gotta say.
That's very inspiring. I never got into the games, but I respected the games.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people who I grew up with were really big Tony Hawk players.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really funny because a lot of the people that played the Tony Hawk games were also were really big Devil May Cry fans as well.
Yeah.
And that is one of those things that just goes hand to hand right there, because it's like you have so much freedom to do stuff, and it's just like this really like over the top kind of like gameplay, and that's what Tony Hawk has. Is like there's really no limits to the tricks you can do, and you could just get back up and do them again. If you're not doing it right, you can try again. But my number one is a game series that was super, super, super big in the PlayStation 1 era.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get to play the PlayStation 1 games of it. And it was a turn-based turn-based JRPG, and that is Ark of Lad.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it Ark the Lad? It's like it's a really weird wording for it. But the game I started with was Twilight of Spirit. Yes, it is Ark the Lad, Twilight of Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Very weird. Like I think that was like a translation error, maybe, because it was so early on. But that game series introduced that's what made me aware of like racism. Believe it or not, like that game was actually about racism between humans and Deimos, which Deimos are human monster hybrids, and there are so many of them, and they're like treated like savages and beasts that can only like they don't have the ability to use like our weapons, whereas humans don't have the ability to use their magic. And so it's a story about two brothers that of a child of a Deimos, like a alpha Drakir, which are dragon people, and a human woman that is a very big member of her community. But it's really interesting because you start out with the character Karg, which is a really weird name, even for Japan. And he is training to be able to defend his town from the monsters in the Deimos. And in his he doesn't find out he has a brother until the next chapter he's in. But it's after you finish after this chapter, you go on to meet his twin brother Dark, which he shows way more of the genes that he got from his father. This is also where he has darker skin, but he's not necessarily black. He's kind of like tan, kind of islander, kind of like skin tone. But he has like these scales on his face as well, these gray scales, which is very different for his race. He has these horns, which I think that's from the hybrid of human and Deimos. But he has wings. And so you go through his story, and you go through his first chapter, and he actually has his wings ripped off.
Oh.
In the first chapter, and he grows to where he learns he wants to become king of the Deimos, so he can kill all the humans. Whereas Karg wants to kill all the Deimos. And so the story progresses on to becoming this big whole thing about them, like, just humans and Deimos that hate each other. And it's like, you get, like, these rivals from both sides that have, like, some sort of conflict with each other, except for two of them. One of them being, one of the Deimos side is actually a monster. And there's a human named Maru who actually falls in love with this monster.
Mm-hmm.
But because of this game series, not only did it, like, make me understand racism a little bit better as a kid,
Yeah.
it made me, like, really interested in stuff like D&D. Because, like, I would go play with my friends, and we're over there, like, creating our own kind of, like, warriors or something. And I'm just, like, immediately, I'm a Drakir. And they're like, what's that? It's like, they're like dragon people. They use wind and fire magic. It's like, really, that's cool, I guess. Like, I don't know what that is still, but okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, my friend, she would say, like, I'm blind. like she played Kenshi all the time on Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's her, like, reasoning. She's like, I can do... Basically, she made, like, a female version of Kenshi.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that was what that was about.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, like, that was, like, a story. Like, I want to go revisit those games. Sadly, the company that did it is called Cattle Call. And they stopped after the game right after that, which was End of Darkness, which was supposed to be a post-story about the world after Deimos and humans reunite. But there's still, like, that stigma of hatred towards each other.
Yeah.
But it was really heartbreaking because that was, like, towards the end of the PlayStation 2 era that dropped. And after that, Cattle Call stopped making main console games and just went into mobile games. Turn-action mobile games. And that's really heartbreaking to see. And it's like, basically like, discount Bravery Assault.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, I don't like this.
Yeah.
So that's, like, actually one game series I would really like to be revived, like, remade, like, the entire series. There's, like, 5 games for the PlayStation 1 that has, like, a real, like, I think it's, like, they took that same chapter thing from, like, Twilight of Spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, but instead they made it, like, separate games or, like, chapters of, like books of, like, Lord of the Rings kind of thing. So, like, that's my, like, number 1 right there.
Nice.
Pokemon is number 2 for me.
Oh, wow.
Even though, like, Pokemon, like, has impacted my life more, like, with very little left in my life with it, it's still strong in my memories, and I feel like that there has, like, really affected me.
Yeah. That's really nice.
Alright, Will.
He went.
Oh, I was last?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, yeah, you said Far Cry.
Yeah.
Primal.
Yeah. For me, what I do real quick is I'm just gonna say, like, out of my top 5, this is a little recap, and also, like, I'm gonna say out of these series which one's my favorite. I'm gonna do Pokemon. My favorite is Pearl. That's kind of where I kind of gained my consciousness while playing Pokemon, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then the Sly Cooper, it'd be Sly 2. Uncharted, I don't know. I think I'm going to give the nod to 2. And I'm not sure why. SmackDown, that would be... it would actually be Shut Your Mouth. That had a lot of my favorite people already in it. And Tony Hawk, that would be Thug 2. So that's my list of like the more
The very specifics.
the very specifics.
I think with my very specifics, so I guess I'll start with Arc of the Lad. Like that one was obviously like Twilight of Spirit because like like I just sat there and just gave you like the first 2 chapters right there of the entire game. And which there's a lot there. There's a lot to unpack with that series, and there's some really cool art designs. But most of all, it's just like I to this day I'm a Dark fanboy. That was a badass character design, especially after chapter 1, because he picks up a short sword, and he gets like some like chest armor. And it was just like. I feel like that was when mid rift armor was getting popular for male characters, and I really like to say that out of all of them, Dark pulled it off the best. But Pokemon, I'm gonna say probably Pokemon X version. It didn't have like a lot to do. Like I feel like the post game was really good. Like against what everyone else says. But the reason for that one there was I had the most fun playing that because I learned what free for alls were.
Yep.
I got into like Pokemon content on YouTube. I became a gym leader and even an Elite Four member in Facebook groups online. And I was able to do that with Mono Normal, and that was really fun.
Yep.
That was an unconventional type. It's still an unconventional type. It's actually worse now. Don't play Mono Normal. It's awful. Unless you're playing Tauros. That's really how, like, I think that's really the only good one right now, like, in my opinion, besides Regigigas, but Regigigas is only good with, like, fucking wheezing, with neutralizing gas. But yeah, that one I got into competitive Pokemon. I met a lot of friends. I made a lot of friends in that game. That I still talk to this day. And, so let's see here. Harvest Moon, I'm gonna say, was Magical Melody for the GameCube. Because that one just had so many cool little mini games that were just really fun. And they made you work for your husband or wife in that one. You had so many choices, but if you chose, like, there were some that were easier. And it's like real life. There are some people that are more likely, that are easier to live with. But there are some people that you love that you want to be with, even if they're hard to be with.
Yeah.
And so that one there is like really, really good. And you know what's bad is I'm actually having to go back to my list to actually see what I picked.
I think you had Soul Calibur and Devil May Cry.
Yeah, Soul Calibur, that one's hard actually. I want to say 6 is my favorite, but 4 had a lot more impact on me.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry, I'm going to say 3, because I haven't played 5. I'm pretty sure 5 might take the spot, but Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition, where you can play Virgil, is amazing. And, so I'm going to jabber on while Will is in the back. Oh, he's coming back. Here we go. Yeah, Will have to go to the bathroom.
Alright, well, you want to do a little recap on
Will, are you
your
wearing skinny jeans?
What does it look like?
I'm just now noticing you're wearing skinny jeans, and I don't know how I feel about it.
I think it looks great.
It does look great. It's just like
you know, like who wants to wear 100% denim, like when you got that flex shit, you know.
That's true. I wear like sweatpants and joggers now.
Yeah.
I want everyone to see that awkward.
Can we not?
Yeah, let's not. Let's not just yet.
Will, do you want to give a little bit of a recap on yours?
So, so pretty much with Donkey Kong 64, that was my first foray into video games, and I was hooked ever since. Then later on in high school, I got into Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2, and Force Unleashed.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to think of. So those two. Then I'm trying to remember which came out first. Yeah. Then I got into Doom. Then Assassin's Creed. I think I actually got into Far Cry before Doom. Actually, yeah. It's just that's how it went.
Okay. And I'm not sure. I might have a couple more people that just to record little things that we could put in here at the end here, just to say what their favorites were. I might get Nolan, Jillian, Luke, and just see what they have to say. But for us, I think this is a good stopping point.
Well, I want to say a couple things. First of all, I think what a good idea we should do is if people if we get listeners that want to request things for us to talk about, I think we should put in I'm gonna put my Twitter in.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you guys want to put yours in, or if you guys have Instagram or something that you guys want to use instead. For if you guys want to give ideas, or kind of for the topics we've already covered, if you want to chat about it, you guys can hit me up on Leafy Van Gogh on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually either advertising for Discord channels called 3 Geodudes.
Yes.
So
the boy,
yeah,
I love Peter.
Which I'm really wanting later on to have him as a guest and talk about competitive Pokemon, because he talks about VGC a lot.
Yeah, I could talk with Peter about anything basically.
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
Mm-hmm.
He mistakenly bought a. When I say mistakenly, I mean it was a mistake that he shouldn't have done, but he decided to do it anyways. He bought a clout chain, and everyone in the Discord is grilling him for it, and it's just it got so bad at one point where he's like, "You guys are so lucky. I have thick skin." But there was a lot more to that one, but that was kind of that was pretty funny. But if you go onto my Twitter, you can also get a hold of that. Join there and hit up our boy Peter, and he does a lot of Pokemon content.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, do you have any plugs you want to put in?
No, just check the description. I'll put relevant YouTube, Twitter, and whatever stuff.
You should also put your Twitch on there.
Yeah.
So when you're playing Gungeon or Genshin.
Yeah, Regnaboner.
That is not it.
You can sometimes find me sometimes I'll appear on his, sometimes I'll appear on my buddy Artemon's.
Okay.
Eventually I'll have my own Twitch.
All right.
So you guys can hear me just ramble on to myself like some sort of nutcase. And next time we will do a review of
Pulp Fiction?
no
I'm confused.
Hamilton.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. Okay. He put me on the spot. Like, you guys couldn't see it, but, like, he said, well, you're going to do a review of, and then pointed at me. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
We'll give a brief review on that instead of weird flavored Takis.
True. Yeah, true. Well...
we'll figure. We don't know what we're going to talk about next episode, which hopefully we will record next week.
I think I have an idea. I'll discuss it with you all.
Awesome.
All right.
I love having ideas already.
Thank you. Thank you for watching, and
I can't wait to take credit for your idea.
We'll see y'all later.
Just at the end, just the cream.